everyone. This is Lonnie Misalucha, and you are listening to PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio. On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.
It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hello, hello. Hello, mic test. Hello, everyone. That got me. Hi, I'm Dot. Welcome to On the Dot with Dot here.
And I am Benjamina Mia Casino, license number S01-991. Because I'm so formal today.
Yes.
I'm Mia. Welcome to On the Dot.
Welcome, everyone. It's a Wednesday. I think it's our 27th show or 26th?
Episode, yes.
Episode, yes.
And second series. No. Third, right? For the month of May.
For the month of May.
Amazing possibilities.
And we want to congratulate before anything else. This is the true before anything else. Okay, you don't say before anything else when your show is about to end. Before anything else, some people do. Congratulations, Kuya Yo, for the graduation of your beloved. Yes, Flora. Yes, congratulations.
Ooh, a lot of graduates for this year.
Yes, and to all the graduates. Do you have a graduate, Mia?
Not yet. Maybe
yet.
Next year.
Okay. Right, so congratulations. Fly high. You have places to go. Alrighty.
All right.
Take it away, Mia.
So last week we were talking about holistic integrated medicine. Our topic for today is also related to that, and we are going to talk about similar to holistic medicine, kinda, right?
But from the point of view of the practitioner now, not just the doctor, but someone who's really doing everything to heal herself.
Yes. So our topic for today, our title is May Pagasa.
Yay.
May
All right.
Pagasa. So I'm going to read a blog again from Christy, and she's talking about how changing
Your
the diet
yes.
of her dad changed the life and healed her dad.
Pag-asa.
May Pag-asa.
Pag-asa means pag-asa.
You remember
hope.
that? Pag-asa.
With a twist of the head. Pag-asa means hope. And in Tagalog, when you say may, it means you have.
There is. Yeah,
there is the presence of. So, may pag-asa means
there's
hope.
Yes. So, a few years ago, the doctor found a concerning growth on my dad's prostate.
Mm-hmm.
It was alarming and stressful for our entire family, but I knew that worrying about it would do nothing. So I decided to get educated on the matter. Watching the documentary Forks Over Knives on Netflix had started it all. The main premise of the documentary was how plant-focused diets can prevent illnesses by turning off cancer cells, but eating a heavily animal-based diet can actually activate those cells.
Ooh, may activation pala.
With plant-based kaya ako. With that, we placed our dad on a plant-focused diet with a minimal white meat, only chicken and seafood. A year later, the growth vanished.
Oh, wow, that's good.
from that point on, it became my mission to help people realize that holistic nutrition can prevent illnesses and heal our bodies. From Christy of Christy at Home.
Okay.
Wow, that's my diet now actually.
Plant-based with a little bit of
White meat and seafood. Yeah.
Yes, me too. Yeah, that's mine too.
That's
And-
good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's to good health, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And our guest.
So our guest is a proud wife and mom of two teens, 17 and 18, Marcus and daughter Isabella. Registered nurse, a certified life coach focusing on mindset and intuitive work. Completed online course on basic sacred self-care and Ayurveda. Did I pronounce it right? Ayurveda nutrition. Currently enrolled online on herbalism. Miss Antonette Espacio-Benitez.
Hey, welcome, Antonette.
Hi.
Antonette.
Hi, good morning.
Morning,
Good
Antonette.
morning.
Or good afternoon. It's already noontime.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Antonette.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you for
guesting.
being here. So, very interesting how your journey from being a nurse to being a, is that the correct word? How do we pronounce that? Herbalist?
Herbalism.
With a silent
Herbalist.
H? With a silent H? Or is it an
ETCH?
H? With a silent H? Or is it a herbalist? What is it?
Actually, I'm used to call it herbalist because of the word herbs,
Yeah.
but other
okay.
people would call herbalism the same way as they would call potato,
Potato.
tomato. So
Okay.
it,
So,
it
Either of
doesn't
the
really
two will
matter.
do.
Yeah.
okay. So I'll just call you an herbalist. Let me just use that because in our, I think it's very close to our language, like the albulario.
Herbalario.
Herbolario. I know someone who calls herself an herbolario because
Herbolario.
she uses herbs,
Yeah.
herbolario, and then she also calls herself on the other hand oil bolario because she uses essential
oils.
oils. So herbs would be closer to that, herbolario. So Antoinette, so how was your journey from being a nurse to being what you are right now? How did it happen?
It happened like many lifetimes ago. I started out back in the Philippines because I was born and I grew up there. So back in the Philippines, the nursing profession was the most sought after. And I always knew that I wanted to take care of people. But initially, I wanted to be a flight attendant because of my curiosity to go and see the world. However, my destiny led me to be a nurse. So I finished, I got registered. I work as a pharmaceutical rep in the Philippines, a little bit of nursing on the side. And to make it short, I met my husband. I came here to the US. And then I worked shortly. Well, actually, it's like 8 years. I worked in the behavioral unit. And it was a whole new experience understanding people and their pains in a mental aspect.
You were behavioral unit of what?
It's actually it's where
hospital?
people are depressed, people are very prone to commit suicide.
I see.
Some of them are like caused by drugs or medication, or they're just in that category. So it really deepened my interest in learning how people and why people behave that way mentally, how they process their problems, what's causing their problems, what are the environmental effects of how they live their life, their belief system, their family dynamics. So all of this really got me curious about knowing and understanding more how people behave and how they respond to stress, basically. And then, yeah, it went from there. And then I had my own issues that also brought me to the point of, stressed out and having to raise my kids, having to be a career mom, having to be a wife, having to be a friend to somebody. It's like I have so many capes that I'm trying to show up for everyone that it was too much. So I decided to leave my job and did a soul search journey.
Oh,
So
and did you find what you were looking for?
I actually did. And I'm so
Ah.
glad that I made that decision because it brought me back to who I was before I got married. It brought me back to my inner sense of worth, understanding my role as I am, not just as a mom, as a friend, as a career person. Sometimes you get lost in those
The roles.
titles.
Yes.
People expect so much of you and you have to show up as that and that and that.
Oh my
And then
God.
over time, you totally forget who you are. So that's where my journey led me. And this is where I am now. That's why I'm into herbalism because I still wanted to help people, but now coming from a different, more grounding and deep understanding of taking care of myself first before I can help people.
How beautiful. Yeah. So our letter that Mia read was about a person who had cancer and he got healed by switching his diet. And I'm aware that you experienced the same thing. Well, you not the men's cancer, but you experienced that cancer for yourself, and you got healed. And I'm excited to know how that happened. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about that for our viewers and listeners.
Yes, I am always excited to share this story because I feel like this is a miracle in its own sense. Um, my As a nurse with a background in nursing, I know for a fact that people would always say cancer is genetic. It is being passed down from one generation to another, your genes. But as I was going on this self-care journey, I also understood from a spiritual point of view that our cells or the cells in our body has its own mind. They talk to each other, and when you have a lot of anger issues or emotional issues stored in your body, it could result in illnesses. And I know for a fact that my cancer was not from genes because never in my mom or dad's side had colon cancer. It's colon cancer. They never had that. And I had never been sick growing up. I don't even take any kind of pill. So basically, I would say that my environment and my childhood and how I was raised was pretty much a good environment, a thriving environment. So back in 2019, but before that, I was developing symptoms for the colon cancer. And then when I went to see my doctor, of course, they did find some tumor. And it was so overwhelming and a shock because I did not expect that. And my doctor said that we need to schedule you for surgery right away because your tumor is big enough and, it needs to be taken care of right away. I was like, oh my God, I just came out of that procedure and what? I have cancer and it's like my time is being counted already.
Oh.
So to make it short, we had a family talk. My husband, my two kids, and me, we sat down, and I don't even know what to think of it. My understanding of cancer is just cancer, and but not to the degree of how long do you have your timeline? Like you're being given like 2 months to live or 3 months to live, or I don't know.
Did they give you a
So,
timeline?
They did based on statistics,
Okay.
but not like months.
Okay.
They're like, okay, you're this age. The severity of your cancer is you're in stage 3C. And if you look at the statistics,
Okay.
1 year, maybe 2 years, depending on how you respond with chemo and all this. And so that was too much for me to handle. And at the time, my son and I were actually, me and my husband were actually starting to get back into eating healthy because we have forgotten about diet, we have forgotten about exercise, and we were just consumed with day-to-day work, family life, balance, and all that. So we were already starting to get ourselves better in that eating. And then I found out about this. So my son was telling me, Mom, we have to start eating really good. Like we need to do plant-based and all this. And I was already familiar with plant-based, although I did not really delve deeper on what else can it do other than make you feel better, increase your stamina and energy. So from then onwards, we were so busy online. We were Googling things. I was trying to understand what is colon cancer? What is this stage 3? What can I do with this? What's going on? So, and before that, I was reading this book by Chris Wark. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but he's the author of this book that's called Chris Beat Cancer.
Oh, Chris.
And it's
beat
very
cancer.
timely because the type of cancer that he was trying to battle at the time was also the same as mine.
Okay.
Also colon cancer. And he has the same stage, I believe, as me. So I was reading that, and he was talking about forks over knives. So I watched it.
The same.
the same as the
same
story
book as
that
Wow.
yeah.
How
Exactly.
spot
That's why I'm
on.
like,
Oh
wow,
my
this is so
goodness.
perfect because that is a blog coming from someone who had experience, and I can relate because it is really true. Anything that you take out from your diet, because when they say plant-based, people are scared because they're taking out the meat. They're taking out anything that's nice, that's good. But when you watch this film and you understand why it's not good for us, especially in the US, there are a lot of meats. Most of our meats are either genetically, modified, GMO, all these things that they put in our meat. So that's the one that causes the cancer. It's not the meat itself. It's all the things, the antibiotics,
It's
the
the
fertilizer that they
genes
use,
injected.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
So
foreign
anything that's
materials.
GMO is
I
not good,
see.
and that includes processed sugar. Anything that's processed basically in the facility, anything
Okay.
that's boxed.
Oh,
So I
wow.
have learned from then to understand reading ingredients, which means the more ingredients that is in a package, the more you have to stay away from it.
Okay.
So if you find
makes
an
sense.
ingredient that's just like 4 items, then it's a lot closer to plant-based. Plant-based is because it's from farm to table.
Farm to
You're
table.
you're taking whatever's in the farm and you eat it right away with no processing, and that's the one that's really good for health.
So that's really an invitation for us to also support our local farmers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have farmers market here, Mia?
Yes.
Not
During
near where I live.
weekends, I think during weekends there's farmers market and there's farm to table restaurants
Okay.
all over.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That's
By the-
really nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice because for cities that have those kind of
Yeah.
restaurants or people doing that kind of activity,
It's difficult
it
to
is-
grow veggies
yeah,
here,
it is an
Antonette.
educational process for everyone to really look at it and understand and take it from a point of view where you don't have to wait for you to have any type of sickness to open up your mind into all this healthy living.
Yes. So that's lovely that you're telling us about the lesser ingredients, the better, the healthier.
more
they are.
organic.
So I've always wanted to ask this question of anyone, especially the vegans. I know you went into a vegan stage as well, right? A vegan diet. So this question is, if there's nothing else to eat, would you rather eat, chicken that just landed from somewhere over there, or processed plant-based food?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Oh, I would choose definitely the chicken who just
chicken.
landed there.
Because it's
'Cause-
fresh, right?
because it's more fresh. Because again,
Oh,
my
okay.
understanding is that the meat itself is not really bad for you
All
to cause any
right.
diseases. It's the or the things that they put in the meat to make it fresh,
To
or to
prolong.
Right.
keep its shelf life
Yeah.
longer. It's the
Right.
preservatives.
Okay,
So
okay.
yes.
So
Makes
what, yeah.
sense.
You have a question,
No,
Mia?
it just makes sense.
Yes. So what were the immediate effects of your when you shifted from your former diet to plant-based and then you went to vegan and then plant-based again? What were the immediate effects on your body that you
I
could perceive?
felt the healing process was a lot faster. Before I went into surgery, I was already eating a little bit of less meat, I mean, so it's more on the chicken side. So when I had surgery, I had I forgot the term, but it's like a colon resection. I didn't have a colon bag, a colonoscopy bag, no. But
Okay.
I forgot exactly what the term was, but when I did that surgery, my surgeon was actually surprised that the next day I was already sitting down and trying to do small walks.
Oh, beautiful.
Because I
Uh-huh.
I know for a fact that when you lay down for a long time after surgery, it could cause other types of, like blood clots, that could probably travel in your heart. And so they're encouraging you to either cough or, to do side lying position.
Okay.
But I wasn't comfortable with that. So I started like getting up and sitting down and walking.
And this was
So
last
that,
year, right?
yeah.
Oh, when was
Oh,
this?
wow.
What year was
Oh,
this?
I forgot. This was in 2019,
Oh,
very
just
So
recent.
2 years
just two
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago lang.
And you've been
So
clean and clear
I
since
was I
then?
was they diagnosed me. Oh, they found out about the tumor in August, beginning of August, and then uh, the end of August they scheduled me for surgery right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
And now
that
you're
was quick.
clean and clear of all that.
So
Yeah.
after that, I had to do a every 6 months doctor visit to
Uh-huh.
do more testing,
Mm-hmm.
which they call the CEA marker for tumors. Right after the surgery, definitely my tumor marker went down. It was in the upper 50s, which is really high because
Ooh.
normally the normal marker is 1.6 something,
Oh, wow.
but mine was 50.
Oh,
So I was even
wow.
like, what the
Wow.
heck is going on? So after surgery, it went down, which the doctor was saying it's expected because they took out the
The tumor.
tumor.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's fine. It went down to, it was normal. I forgot exactly. But after 6 months from the time that they checked me after surgery, that's when I can tell that my diet or the plant based really work because I was just healing because they said after they took out the tumor there are possibilities that because it has roots, like the tumor cells
Okay.
has roots, so sometimes it can grow again in other areas or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes but
Yeah.
that's when I realized that my diet was really good because it remained normal
Okay. Yeah.
after 6 months.
Yeah, that's
That
great.
was
To,
early in 2020. That was March
oh, when the pandemic started.
when the
Wow.
pandemic
Oh,
started.
Awesome.
So during the pandemic, it was a little bit challenging because you're indoors. There's
right.
nothing else to do. You can do exercise. You can do anything. So I was slowly introducing a little bit of meat again because as a Filipino, I can't avoid missing
Yeah.
my adobo, missing my
Oh.
caldereta. So I would eat bits and pieces. But I was kind of scared because I was thinking, oh my God, what will happen to my, next test? But I had another test in July and it was still normal. And my
Hmm.
oncologist asked me, what the heck are you doing?
Okay,
You're
so
doing
what the
great.
heck were
So,
you doing? So we'll be Net, we're gonna take a short break and
okay.
tell us what the heck you were doing, especially your affirmation and your spirit practice that helped you, that helped the healing component, the everything that the doctors were doing helped your body to integrate all of these. So we'll be back after a word from our beautiful, wonderful sponsor in front of me. Yeah.
Heading to Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From city view lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity. On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.
Back to the studio with Dot and Mia. You're listening to On the Dot, and it's now time check. It's 12:28 in the afternoon Pacific time. So we're talking with our guest, Antonette Espacio-Benitez. She's a Filipina living in California, and she got healed of her cancer by shifting to plant-based diet, and among other things, among the many other things that she had been exploring. So where are you now, Antonette? Let's bring you to the cam. There you are.
I'm back.
Yes. Before you answer the question I had earlier about your spiritual practice, Mia has a question for you, or an item.
Oh no, actually, I was going to tell Antoinette. I always eat white meat even when I was a child. So to be able to enjoy the Filipino food, we would always put white meat in everything, like adobo and sinigang. I'd put back home they would put a piece of white meat for me for anything.
And when you say white meat, you mean chicken?
The breast.
Oh, the breast.
The chicken breast. Nice.
Oh,
There's
I
always a
see.
piece of chicken breast for me.
Oh.
Anything caldereta, there's always white meat.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, wow.
I never really
Until now.
Was aware of white meat and red meat. I just ate whatever was on the table if it's delicious, but I never really paid attention to which part of the animal is called
Chicken
this one
breast.
or called that one, yes, and then the turkey as well. So, yeah, that's interesting
Yeah.
to know. Yeah, thank you for that. Also, white sugar. How about sugar? Nat, can you talk to us about sugar? Mia and I were talking about sugar off mic.
Processed.
Yeah, anything that's processed makes things like super white. So definitely white sugar is not a good one. The turbinado sugar or the brown sugar or the coconut sugar are good alternatives if you want to stay on the safe side.
Muscovado.
Yes.
I'm staying away from white sugar. My daughter, who is also a baker like me, would use it because she said it's not the same. So I would allow her because I'm not really that fanatic when it comes to what needs to go and what can stay. As long as you take it in minimum, I'm okay. But I'm telling her all of the consequences, like this is, in the
Yeah.
long run, this is not going to be good. But personally, for myself, I am just a little bit more strict because of the cancer diagnosis. And
Yes. I
you know,
use honey and
it's my
agave.
body.
Yeah.
Agave.
Agave, I use agave,
Agave too,
or
yes.
raw
If you want to go in
honey.
the syrup part, yeah.
But I guess if you're a
Agave.
vegan, you can't use honey because it's still animal based. Maybe you
Yes.
can do
However,
agave.
honey is still good in our system, for our system. So if you're not very strict on the vegan side, you can add it. This is my understanding. Anything that you process, that's why they say when you say vegan, it does not necessarily mean to say that it's healthy, because
that
there
is-
can
that is
be it can be
plant-based.
vegan ingredients, but it's still processed.
I see.
So if you want to stick in the really
Okay.
holistic side of it, plant-based is
Okay.
the way to go,
Uh-huh.
because they're even strict with how you cook it, certain temperatures of how you cook your food.
Oh.
And then the really, really fanatic one is the raw plant-based,
I know
which
someone
is
who was
you
like
just
that.
pick it up from there, you rinse it, you
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah.
So
Antoinette,
it's so
sorry.
interesting to understand all of these
Uh-huh.
things.
How
It's
about the
very
use of
interesting.
microwaves?
Oh, there we have a question. Yeah.
They don't.
Never.
They don't agree to using microwaves because of the frequency of the
Emissions.
heat that is
Good question,
coming
Mia.
out from there. So it's either not good for the food or it can transmit to your body the same way as how they would tell you to minimize the use of your cell phones or any gadgets in your home. So there's certain frequencies in there that can affect, your metabolism, your body waves,
So how
and
do
all those
you?
things.
What's the best way for you? What's the quickest way for you to heat your food, Net? Oh, stovetop?
Yes, I've started doing stovetop. And again, I would always mention my son because he's always the instigator in doing all of these things. Sometimes when I'm tired and I'm lazy and I'm, busy, it's so easy to just pop things in the microwave
Yes, it is.
because you
No?
want to do that. But then again, if I really want to look at the health side, then I would take my time to just put things in the stovetop and then
Yes.
just warm it up.
Yes. Let me see. Hold on. I saw something flash in the screen here. Where, yeah. So anyway, I just want to mention that to all our listeners, we don't give medical or legal advice. We're simply interviewing our expert here, and she's an expert in her own life and in her own practice. And so, I would say to anyone listening, it's like a buffet. Pick what's best for you and leave what doesn't. Pick what works. Take what works and leave what doesn't. So yes, it's a buffet. Life is a buffet. You find nuggets, yummy, yummy nuggets from Antonette's talk, then just take that home with you. Yeah. Another question, Mia? Do you have one?
Yes. You know how we have charcoal back at home? It's all
Yeah.
different sizes, it's natural. But I noticed here the charcoal looks the same. It's all processed. Is that processed charcoal and is it healthy? Do you know anything about that?
I don't have a clear
Grill.
knowledge of what type of charcoal is being used here. Although yes, it's so different than
Yeah.
our charcoal, because our charcoal I believe is from the coconut husk or the coconut shell that they turn into
I see.
charcoal.
I see.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that.
Because
Yeah.
it looks so uniform.
Oh yeah.
charcoals
Okay.
here.
I don't use
Yeah.
that. I don't. I haven't really
Yeah.
paid attention to that. And also, I heard in the past that when you burn your whatever it is you're grilling, the burnt one is also cancerous. The
Right,
burnt
right. That's why I
It's charred.
asked.
The
portion,
charred
the
part
charred,
of any meat.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's not
it
so
tastes
good.
different too.
cancerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And we always think that's the best one.
Right.
it's so yummy, right? Did they say
Yeah.
that the best things
I
in
guess
life
in
are
life,
poisonous?
anything that's yummy is the one that's not good for us. That's why a lot of people would rather take in things that are not good for us because it's yummy.
Oh,
No
yeah,
one wants
they're
to,
yummy.
to take the hard path.
And then spend a lot of money curing
Taking
themselves,
care of our
buying
health.
the medicine to undo what has been done in the past. Yeah, here is this.
So we have a question from the website from Julie. How about switching into seafood? Is that healthier than red meat?
Oh yeah.
In the movie for our documentary Forks Over Knives, they were actually talking about that too because you know how in environmentalism there are still fishes in the ocean that are being caused by this dynamite, when they put
Dynamite
dynamite
fishing.
to and then also this mercury poisoning for the fishes. So what I'm trying to say is that when you open yourself up to understanding how our nature affects the wildlife, and then you put it in your plate or you consume it, then it's like a domino effect.
I still
So
see.
when you want to really know what's good and what's not good for your body, look at the different environmentalism and what it causes to this like living things.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
It's always about the mercury poisoning, the dynamite that they
Fishing.
put in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So again, anything that's probably farm fresh is a lot better. The same way with
Fish.
chickens and
Yes.
poultries
True,
or
true.
meat
Uh-huh.
that is raised in the farm but not um, caged.
Commercial.
You know, when
yeah,
commercial, when you
industrial.
buy chicken, it says free range or
Cage free.
organic.
Yes.
Sometimes I've also learned that when you read it, it's not just because they say it's organic, it means
that
that it's
too.
okay. The free range one are better because they're the ones that are like going
Okay.
around in the pasture eating like different seeds that are on the ground.
Okay.
So they're not being fed with GMO feedings.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very
It
interesting. I
is.
never really
It's
thought
an
about
ongoing
this.
educational information
I know.
that's really
Interesting.
good for us. And you know, the moment you open up yourself to that, you just keep learning every day. And I
Right.
didn't learn about this until I had to face that
Uh-huh.
diagnosis, and
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty glad about it.
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
Net,
Uh-huh.
I remember you told me, or in one of your talks in the past, that the one book that greatly influenced you into this path is Eat, Pray, Love by, is it
Elizabeth Gilbert.
So we're talking about what you eat. And now let's talk about what you pray or your affirmation, your spiritual life.
Yeah. I love talking about all these things because these are the miracles that people tend to not notice. The spiritual aspect of the pray, like Dr. Pinto mentioned last week,
Yes, Dr.
he said that
Pinto.
yes, I
Yes,
really love his
Edward.
talk. 'Cause
Yes, I
think
love
it's
it too.
resonate. And his point of view was coming from a doctor, a holistic doctor. My point of view that I'm going to share here is coming as a patient,
Okay.
as a person who has experienced
Nice.
what he's trying to
Nice.
share. But it is true, like in the Philippines, most of us are Catholics, and for the most part we are devoted Catholics, and we pray to this altar, all these things. When I came to the US, I opened up my mind about not just religion as it is, but spirituality. Because spirituality is actually more of your connection, how you develop your relationship with God, of course, or for other religions with the higher power that they believe in. So I've learned that spirituality does not just limit yourself into believing one thing, but actually embodying it. So if God says, if you don't want it to be done unto you, don't do it unto others, then that's how you live your life.
Okay.
It's like the karma effect.
Okay.
Do good things to others so you will get
Comes back.
good things in return. Or, give tithing so you will get more abundance in return.
Tithing, 10%.
So those-
yes.
Yes, those are the different laws of the universe in a spiritual journey that sometimes may be hard for people to really understand. But one thing that I've learned also is that any type of religion or belief system that you have, they all boil down to one thing: be good. Be good for yourself, for others, and for the universe, for the world. So when you come from that point of view and that aspect, everything just gravitates.
Be good
So the
because you are
pray-
good.
yeah.
Because you are good. Yeah.
Because you are good.
Because,
and
yeah.
Dr. Pinto mentioned about, it's already within you, that inner child.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. as a if you look at it, inner child are the little child within us that's full of hope, my Pagasa, that is full of
nice.
trust, and that is full of adventure, sense of adventure.
How did
And
that
that's
help?
how we should live our life, like
Yeah.
even as adults.
Yeah. How did that help in your healing? Your spiritual practice?
I've learned affirmations, and affirmations only came about when I opened myself with the law. I was reading about Buddhism, and I was applying some of the concepts that they were trying to to teach. Not that I want to be a Buddhist myself, but I found that it's more sensible to me. And I found that it's more realistic in my day-to-day dealings with my life and with people. So through affirmations, it's like a mantra.
Sample
it's like
nga.
finding words.
Oh,
For
sige,
example, I would
example.
say, I am healthy.
Okay.
And whatever you say to yourself over and over again, you start believing it.
All right.
And when you start believing it, you start showing up as a healthy person.
All right. So hold
And
on.
then,
I'm gonna
yeah.
ask Mia. What's your affirmation, Mia? What do
My
you usually say to
affirmation.
yourself? I've stopped using affirmations for quite a while. The I am or
I am who I am.
oh, that's also powerful. I
Nice.
am
I
who
like
I
that.
am. Yes. Well, I have this little heart that where I just wrote I am, and then it's open ended. I can be whatever. So yeah, that's an affirmation. And for many people, you want to look up Louise Hay. She has a lot of affirmations for each illness.
Right.
Yeah, for example, for people who have diabetes, she says it's there's a belief there where where the person lacks a feeling of sweetness in her relationships, in her life. So the affirmation, for example, for you, if you have diabetes, according to Louise Hay, not me, is I experience the sweet life, the sweet love of God, something like that. Because many spiritual teachers will be telling us that the way we eat, we speak, we possess things comes from a feeling of emptiness or lack inside of us. So when we return to who we are, like you said, Net, like you're saying, Mia, I am who I am, then we feel that there's the fullness of who we are. Then we can say, yeah, life is sweet, life is good.
That was actually taught also in a sales convention
Oh, yeah, like
to do
what?
affirmation
Okay.
every day to reach your goal.
Aha.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's one affirmation. And for a while, you also did essential oils, Net, no?
Yeah, I'm actually still doing essential oils, and that comes with the herbalism course that I'm doing. The essential oils, again, comes from plant,
Okay.
which is, again, our connection to source,
Okay.
to God, because all living things comes from Him. So if you don't have that belief and faith and trust in your heart that it's going to work in your life, I guess it's not going to work.
Okay, so
So,
you're saying even if you recited 100 affirmations and ate all these plant-based food, but you don't believe in the goodness of life and of God in you, it's it's not likely, very likely that you get healed.
Yes,
It's
because you need
gonna be
to
difficult.
have that passion that this thing's gonna work out. That is
Okay.
why how we think, how we process things, our mental capacity is very important. Again, I'm going to mention Dr. Pinto because he, in the beginning of your topic, he showed this like picture or diagram, and he said it all starts with the nutrition and the wellness, mental wellness. Those two go hand in hand. And these days, you can see a lot of people talking about gut issues.
Oh,
Why is
guts.
our gut?
Okay.
Why is there a leaky gut? Because they're all connected. Your gut is like your small brain in your stomach, and your brain is in your head. So when you think of things that are negative, that are not for your highest good, you are basically just telling your system and your organs and everything about all those negativity, and they can react in their own way, thereby producing different types of illnesses. So really, it's a very interesting thing about like how the mind works, how our heart works, how our body system works, and all
Interesting. I
that.
just learned about the gut being the brain of the.
Listen to your gut.
Yes.
I
down-
always-
Yes, that's why they said listen to
Yeah.
your gut. It's your gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's your instinct. It's your intuition.
And then
And-
that's
And that
that's your
falls
work
in our
too.
sacral area, the root
The
chakra
root chakra.
area in
Ah.
spirituality, where when you do chakra healing and when you heal that, that's the seed of empowerment. That's the seed of your creation, creativity, and your genius.
Bongga.
Yeah, I always listen to my gut.
Listen to your guts. That's why Antoinette here too is an intuitive coach. She's an intuitive. How does that work, Net? We know of life coach. We know of sports financial coach. So how are you practicing being your path as financial? I mean, as a intuitive coach.
I get it from learning how to trust yourself, coming from your own inner truth. And it takes a lot of years of healing to really get into your core, like, which is your own being. Like, you strip yourself from people's expectations and you show up as who you are. Like, what is it that you like? What is it that you're supposed to say without analyzing if people would like it or not? So you show up from there, and then the healing comes from there, because you just come up from your own authenticity. So what comes up right now, what needs to be healed right now, without diluting the ego-based thoughts as maybe this is not going to work. Maybe people won't like me if I do this.
I see.
You know, that's kind of true. When I come to a point when I couldn't decide anymore and I've asked everybody's opinion, I just say to myself, listen to your gut.
Oh, perfect, Mia.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
That's it, yes.
And a lot of people often forget that because they're so used to relying on people's opinions. In fact, they're so used to people making decisions for them that people get less empowered because they give it away. But that's why in my teaching, I always tell people self-love first. Self-love. You need to look at yourself, you need to heal yourself. And from there, everything will be easy for you to understand and trust your intuition. Because sometimes when you don't love yourself, you question yourself.
Yes.
Like, I've made so many mistakes in the past. Maybe I'm going to make a mistake again. You know, all those things.
I heard a pastor in the past who said, why do you have a hard time loving yourself? God loves you. Why do you not love yourself? You're that lovable that God loves you. So for me, that's my self-love is, who is the self that is loving the self? Who is the I that loves me? So in my case, it's God in me loves me. And so I also, me, the little self, me, I also love God. So for me, that's the essence of this self-love. It's not vanity. It's not what do you call that when you're so narcissistic,
Or arrogant in your own,
or the accumulation of possessions and degrees and all that. You know, like I want everything, like that, like the greed kind of thing. It's not that. It's actually what you said as well, Net. It's when you strip yourself of all the stories you have of yourself, then you find that your true core is you're pure and innocent and you're full of love. You are loved. Yeah, Mia is smiling.
Now, for me, self-love is if you won't love yourself, who else would?
Oh, yeah.
That's true too. That's true. You cannot demand love from people.
Exactly. It's the same thing with dating, no, Mia? No? If you don't like being with yourself, I mean, why would you expect another person to like being with you?
If you don't even like yourself.
You can't stand your smell. Why would you? Why would you expect another person to stand you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Nice. So how do you translate your healing now, Net? Are you giving classes and coaching sessions? And how do people connect with you in this case? Because I think you have a very important message to the world. But how do they connect with you?
In the past, I offered small coaching groups. And right now, I'm working on a membership club. Almost like, you can sign up for membership, but there's no like a contract where you have to stay for years or months. It's an open-ended, membership. So again, this is coming from my intuitive side, because I used to think that maybe I should offer like a 6-month course or a 3-month course. And I realized it doesn't work for me because personally, as I'm a free spirit person, I don't like to be caged, or I don't have like set timelines. And I want people to feel the same, that when they like what I'm doing, they can resonate what I'm doing. They can join my group, and when they're done with what they need to learn from me, they're more than welcome to move on.
Okay.
Because that's the way life goes. Like, you cannot just like let people like say, okay, you need to keep staying here because there's more, there's more. People always learn at a different stage and level in life. So they would always meet different,
They can,
mentors or coaches. So that's where it is. I have a Facebook page, which maybe later I can share, and then they
yes.
can go from there.
Yes, Antonette Espacio-Benitez, Intuitive Life Coach. Yes, I think I'm part of your group as well.
Yes, you are.
And what else? Do we have questions? She's also an angel card reader, but she doesn't
Oh.
feel the
I don't, yeah, and
impulse
I don't
right
feel
now to
connected
give
right
that.
now to pull up cards, only
Uh-huh.
because maybe the last few weeks I've been busy with my daughter's games, basketball games, and everything. So in a way, I'm kind of like drained out mentally. So
Yeah. Okay.
probably next time. Yes, I'm certified with Angel Card and the Ayurveda.
Oh, tell us about that. What is that?
Ayurveda is actually, or Ayurveda, some people would say that too, but it's more or less connected with herbalism. It's just understanding this ancient way of healing, methods of healing based on your energy. It's
Okay.
almost like the Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, where you have your chi energy, your and if it's stuck somewhere in your body, then that causes an imbalance, which then gives you a disease, which is arthritis, or the kidney problems, diabetes, high blood pressure. So it's so interesting because it's helping me also understand deeper the sacred ancient healing modalities. And of course, Ayurveda is from India. So they have all these different herbs that they use, again, like an herbolario. And I'm so drawn to that. And I feel like my nursing platform is preparing me for this, because
Interesting.
I don't just look at things or illness or even understanding people on a superficial level. Like, I need to like understand their experience in life. Like, how did this manifest in you? Like, what
Okay.
happened?
Yeah.
So basically, it's like psychology, understanding that,
Oh, yeah.
and then going into herbs. What can you use with herbs? We have these common herbs in our kitchen
Oh, I
that
know.
we
I just
probably
know
just don't understand.
cilantro,
Basil.
basil. What other herbs are you talking about?
Ginger,
Ginger. I love
garlic,
ginger.
onions, all of them have different healing
Parsley.
things, but we don't
Ah.
put the attention to it.
Okay. Are you still doing your? Do you also do the juicing, like
I
that?
still do my juicing once a week.
Ah,
I would
okay.
join my son. He does detoxing once a week.
Detox.
And then
That's
at
another
home,
way
we're
to-
very diversified. They would cook some meat, we would cook some plant-based. So we just put it in together. And sometimes
Interesting.
if I feel like eating their food, I would get bits and pieces of it.
Nice.
But I do make my own plant-based.
All right. All right. So we're coming to very near to our closing time. Net, what would be your words of pag-asa or hope for people who are ill, who are suffering? And based on your experience and what you have undergone, what would be your message for them?
I always say this to my small group of coaching people. When you are faced with some type of illness, it's really your job to understand what's the root cause. How did it start? Understand your family history from your both sides of your parents. If it's coming from genes, understand. So when you know the root cause, when you know the probabilities, when you know your options, the next time you go to your doctor, you are empowered to ask questions. This is what happened to me, because when I didn't know about it, I forgot to mention, I opted out for chemo. They were telling me to do chemotherapy, but I
You
didn't.
did not do chemo.
So I basically healed myself
Oh my
with nothing
gosh.
except for the food
That is so
and
important.
a lifestyle change mindset and practices meditation, yoga. I did that a lot. And prayers, I did 100% prayers, of course.
Okay.
So I would tell people, when you are diagnosed with some kind of a disease, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
You have a lot of work to do by understanding what are your options, what you can do, and don't just rely with one doctor. If you feel, again, your
Oh my
intuition
God.
tells you that you need to do a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion,
Yeah.
then do it.
Yes.
Always open yourself up, because it's your life, it's your body. The doctors, they may be an expert in their field, but you know yourself better. You know what's your triggers, you know your stressors, you know what's your reality at home.
Oh my
So
God.
look at it from a mind, body, spirit approach. Mind is like, how well do you do stress? How do you de-stress yourself? How do you take people's expectations of you? And then the body, exercise, the food that you eat, the water that you drink. And then the spirit, how are you connected to God, to source? What's your faith level? Like, do you have a lot of anger issues? You need to let them go. You need to release them, because the three things really play an important role in your healing process.
Oh, wow. I would have to applause on that. It's powerful. Very
Thank
good. I
you.
love it. I love everything you said, Net. I
Thank you,
love
Dot.
really how you empower the listeners, our listeners, no? What was that? You know yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Net. Thank you so much for
Thank
being with
you.
us today. And
Thank
more power to
you.
you. May your coaching practice progress, or your message to the world. Mia.
Yes.
It's a perfect tie-in to last week, no?
Yes, yes, very good. Very
Yes.
good connection.
Yes, for those of you who missed last week, the guest that we were talking about here, Dr. Eduardo Pinto, he was our guest last week.
Talking about holistic medicine.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
Oh,
Mia.
let me add a little bit. I remember you guys asked Dr. Pinto about, it's nice to go see an integrative doctor, but
Yes,
the
yes.
insurance, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
insurance.
Let me share
Yes.
a little bit about that, because I've been researching
yes,
for my own
please.
self before, because I'm going to see a naturopathic doctor, and
Okay.
it's not covered with insurance,
Right.
but they actually have options whether you can do an out of pocket, but you have to ask your insurance if they can reimburse it. Or there is this HSA. I forgot what it, but you can Google it. HSA card, where
HSA, HF.
your company,
Okay.
whatever company you're working for, you have to ask your HR, because sometimes they will allow you to get that type of card where you can see functional medicine practitioners,
Functional
and they
medicine.
give you a portion from the company, and you put in a portion, so it doesn't go all the way 100% from your pocket,
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
okay.
these are
Perfect.
expensive. This can be
HSA.
expensive.
Okay.
Right.
That's a very good information.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks
that.
mucho. Yay. Good job. Okay.
Yay.
Mia. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Antoinette.
Antoinette.
Okay.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Dot. Thank
Your
you for
turn,
having
Mia
me
girl.
here.
Well, I leave you with a quote from Thomas Carlyle. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything.
Oh, may
Yes.
pag-asa. He
My-
I love
was
may
that. That's
pag-asa.
true.
May pag-asa. Thank you,
Don't lose
everybody.
hope.
Thank you.
Yes.
Join us again next
Thank you,
week, 12
Nat.
noon on the dot.
On the dot.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Can I mute myself now?
Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From city view lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity. On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC.
Hi everyone, this is Lonnie Misalucha and you are listening to PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.